Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaurabhakta Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaurabhakta Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Venala Mataji, Samyukta Mataji, Sapan Prabhuji, Danat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for joining today. So how was the program yesterday? It's good? With His Holiness.
Amazing, sir.
Bhakti
Yes,
Raghav Swami.
Prabhuji.
So how did you feel, Mataji? Venala Mataji? What did you do?
You're not audible, Prabhuji, if you're speaking.
Seriously? What about others? Hare Krishna, you are able to hear me? Venala Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Clear gaane undi Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Check from your phone, Prabhu. Yeah, cool. So yesterday, very nice actually. He's a great, disciple of Srila Prabhupada. One of the great disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Since last close to 4+ decades, he is serving.
Yes, sir.
You all got wonderful opportunity to hear from Maharaj. Of course, Prabhupada's mood is to this is a simple living, high thinking, especially that Varnasrama system and especially farm communities. That Maharaj is so inspiring in the Hebri or Hebra, right? What is that location in Karnataka?
Hebri, near Udupi.
Karnataka, right?
Yes, Prabhu, near Udupi.
Udupi. So he is a wonderful, simple living and high thinking, the concept. Nice.
So many communities he developed, Prabhu. I don't know how he is able to do so much. Amazing.
Yeah, he's a great sannyasi. Yes, you all got by sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha hai. Lavamatra sadhu sangha sarvasiddhi. How he is, how is a glorious presence, how he is speaking, how it's all a spiritual energy.
Yes, Prabhu.
By, Srila Prabhupada's disciple, sincerely serving. One of the amazing Maharaj.
Yes.
I have missed the event. Somehow I'm here. But, my mind, my heart, there only. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much again. So let us begin with Mangalacharana prayers and then we'll start trading.
Okay.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale. Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukhaṁ karoti vācālam pangam langāyate girimet krupātamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinadarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Om apavitra pavitro va sarvavastam gatopi va yasmaret pundarikaksham sabhyabhyantaram suchihi. Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu. Yeah. So we have completed so far 5 chapters of the perfection of yoga by Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada, His Divine Grace. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we are here. Today we will read 6th section. Yoga as freedom from duality and designation. So far in the last few weeks, 4-5 sessions, I think. So we have read all these 5 sections. Yoga as re-establishing relationship with Krishna. Yoga as work in devotion. Yoga as meditation and Krishna. Yoga as rejected by Arjuna. Yoga is body and mind control. And today, we'll read yoga is freedom from duality and discrimination. Actually, chapter, each chapter we can give to 1.5 hour, 2 hours of class. So by looking at this Prabhupada's, translation, Prabhupada's writings, you can give 2 hours of session each. Yoga is re-establishing relationship with Krishna. Title also we can put that, and we can give lecture by looking at Srila Prabhupada purports and try to discuss on the topics. So let us read 6th section. Yoga is freedom from duality and designation. Yeah, Mataji, please start. Venala Mataji.
Chapter 6. Yoga as freedom from duality and designation. The material world is a world of duality. At one moment, we are subjected to heat of summer season, and the next moment, the cold of winter. Or at one moment, we are happy, and the next moment, distressed. At one moment, honored, and the next dishonored. In the material world of duality, it is impossible to understand one thing without understanding the opposite. It is not possible to understand that what honor is unless I understand dishonor. Similarly, I cannot understand what misery is if I have never tasted happiness. Nor can I understand what happiness is. Okay. Nor one has to transcend such dualities, but as long as his body is here, these dualities will be here also. Insofar as one strives to get out of bodily conceptions, not out of body, but out of bodily conceptions, one has to learn to tolerate such dualities. In second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna informs Arjuna that the duality of distress and happiness is due to the body alone. It is like a skin disease or skin itch. Just because there is itching, one should not be mad after it to scratch it. We should not go mad or give up our duty just because mosquitoes bite us. There are so many dualities one has to tolerate, but if mind is fixed in Krishna consciousness, all these dualities will seem insignificant. How is it one can tolerate such dualities? Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kutasto Vijitendriya Yukta iti uchyate yogi sama lotra sama kanchanaha. A person is said to be established in self-realization and is called a yogi or mystic when he is fully satisfied by virtue of acquired knowledge and realization. Such a person is situated in transcendence and is self-controlled. He sees everything, whether pebbles, gold, stones or gold, as the same. Bhagavad Gita 6.8. Jnana means theoretical knowledge and Vijnana refers to practical knowledge. For instance, a science student has to study theoretical scientific conceptions as well as applied science. Theoretical knowledge alone will not help. One has to be able to apply this knowledge. Similarly, in yoga, one should not only have theoretical knowledge but practical knowledge. Simply understanding I am not this body and at the same time acting in nonsensical way will not help. There are so many societies where the members seriously discuss Vedanta philosophy while smoking and drinking and enjoying a sensual life. It will not help if one only has the knowledge theoretically. The knowledge must be demonstrated. One who truly understands I am not this body will actually reduce his bodily necessities to a minimum. When one increases the demands of the body while thinking I am not this body, then of what use is that knowledge? A person can only be satisfied when there is jnana and vijnana side by side. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. This is an important verse on the Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kutastha Vijitendriya Yuktya Ichi Uchyate Yogi Soma Lostrasma Kanchanaha. A person is said to be established in self-relation and is called a yogi when he is fully satisfied by virtue of acquired knowledge and by realization. And such a person is situated in transcendence and is self-controlled. He sees everything, whether it pebbles, stones, gold, as the same. So jnana means theoretical knowledge. Prabhupada writes, Vijnana refers practical knowledge. Right? We need both. We need jnana and vijnana. Learn the knowledge and apply in our life.
Knowledge and wisdom.
Yeah, knowledge and wisdom. Yes. What is this? I'm not this body. Then what am? I'm not this body. Then what am? I'm spirit soul. I'm spirit soul. That we have to understand. So, and acting in sensual way, that won't help. Like Prabhupada writes this one. Self-realization and sense gratification. Side by side go ill together. అటు సెన్సువల్ ఎంజాయ్ చేస్తూ ఇటు సెల్ఫ్ రియలైజ్ అంటే కాదు. రెగ్యులేటివ్ ప్రిన్సిపల్స్ ఉన్నాయి ఎందుకు? టు రియలైజ్ అవర్ సెల్స్, రైట్? సెన్స్ గ్రాటిఫికేషన్ కదా. ఫోర్త్ థింగ్ దేర్ అన్ని దాంట్లోనే ఉన్నాయి యాక్చువల్గా. సెన్స్ గ్రాటిఫికేషన్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ నాట్ ఫాలోయింగ్ రెగ్యులేటివ్ ప్రిన్సిపల్స్. మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద పీపుల్ ఇన్ దిస్ మెటీరియల్ వరల్డ్, మీట్ ఈటింగ్, ఇంటాక్సికెంట్స్, illicit sex, gambling, that is sense gratification. So sense gratification and self realization go ill together. That means అటు సెన్స్ గ్రాటిఫికేషన్ చేస్తూనే నేను రియలైజ్ అయితే దేవుడిని అంటే కాదు. అది ఇట్స్ నాట్ వర్క్ దట్ వే.
Yes, Prabhu. Maya, there is no Krishna.
Yes, it will not help if one has knowledge theoretically, and this knowledge must be demonstrated, put in ourselves, in our life, apply in our life. Only that I am not this body will actually reduce his body necessity to a minimum. So whatever activities, see, when we eat, Prabhupada writes this, keep the body and soul together. What does it mean? Eat moderately. Not like, oh, prasadam is so good. Tick, 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 tick. No, that's not correct. I mean, we have to take nice prasad. Yes, if there are 20 items, we have to take little and honor it. But prasadam also is not sense gratification. Prasadam is to purify us. Prasadam is to advances the amount we take. That's we have to see. Of course, our tongue always look for tasty things. There is a stopping point. Up to eat little and eat too much is not good. That means Prabhupada writes moderation. So this is the thing. When one increases the demands of the body while thinking, I am not this body, then what is that knowledge? A person can only be satisfied when there is jnana and vijnana side by side. That means theoretical knowledge needs to be there, and how to apply this theoretical knowledge in our life, that also needed. Jnana, vijnana. Yeah, Samyukta, please continue from this paragraph.
When a person is situated on the practical level of spiritual realization, it should be understood that he is actually situated in yoga. It is not that one should continue to attend yoga classes and yet remain the same throughout his life. There must be practical realization. And what is the sign of that practical realization? The mind will be calm and quiet and no longer agitated by the attraction of the material world. Thus, self-control, one is not attracted by the material glitter and he sees everything, pebbles, stones or gold, as the same. In the material civilization, so much paraphernalia is produced just to satisfy the senses. These things are produced under the banner of material advancement. He who is situated in yoga sees such paraphernalia as just so much rubbish in the street. Moreover, Suhrun mitrari udasina madhyastha desha bandhusu sadus apicha papeshu sama buddhir vishishyate. A person is said to be still further advanced when he regards all the honest well-wisher, friends and enemies, the envious, the pious, the sinner, and those who are indifferent and impartial with an equal mind. Bhagavad Gita 6.9. There are different kinds of friends. There is Suhrut, who is by nature a well-wisher and is always desiring one's welfare. Mitra refers to an ordinary friend, and Udasina is one who is neutral. In this material world, someone may be my well-wisher, friend, or neither friend nor enemy, but neutral. Someone else may serve as the mediator between me and my enemies. And in this verse, he is called Madhyastha. One may also see someone as pious and another as sinful according to his own calculations. But when he is situated in transcendence, all of these friends, enemies, or whatever cease to exist. When one becomes actually learned, he does not see any enemy or any friend, because in actuality, No one is my enemy, no one is my friend, no one is my father, no one is my mother, etc. We are all simply living entities playing on a stage in the dress of a father, mother, children, friend, enemy, sinner, and saint, etc. It is like a great drama with so many characters playing their parts. However, on the stage, a person may be an enemy or whatever, but off the stage, all the factors are friends. Similarly, with these bodies, we are playing on the stage of material nature and we attach so many designations to one another. I may be thinking this is my son, but in actuality, I cannot beget any son. It is not possible. At the utmost, I can only beget a body. It is not within any man's power to beget a living entity. Merely by sexual intercourse, a living entity cannot be begotten. The living entity must be placed in the emulsification of secretions. This is the verdict of Srimad Bhagavatam. Thus, all the multifarious relationships between bodies are just so much stage play. One who is actually realized and has actually attained yoga no longer sees these bodily distinctions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. This is a small chapter actually. Yeah. So actually, Prabhupada talks about one of the verse from this. So here, self-control. When a person is situated in the practical level of self-realization, it should be understood he is actually situated in yoga. Practical level of spiritual, both jnana, vijnana. It is not that one should continue to attend yoga class and yet remain in the same thought of his life, throughout his life. No. There must be practical realization. What is the sign of practical realization? The mind will be no longer the attraction of that is what it is. Yeah, wonderful statement. The mind will be calm and quiet and no longer agitated by the attraction of the material world. So problem with this mind. Self-control means mind control actually, When mind is controlled towards sense objects and sensual things, material desires, then he is a person of dhira, self-control. The self-control one is not attracted to the material glitter. That means pebbles, stones, God, and the same vision. That's the thing. So much paraphernalia is produced just to satisfy the senses. These things are produced under the banner of material development. Who is situated in yoga sees such paraphernalia just so much rubbish in the street. Moreover, so this is what Prabhupada pointed out this verse from Bhagavad Gita, the meaning of equality of the mind. The person is said to be still further advanced when he regards all the honest well-wisher, friends, enemies, envious, pious, sinner, those who are indifferent with an equal mind. Samadrishti. Even the enemy also, enemy, envious persons. So here Prabhupada writes, different kinds of friends, Suhrut, Mitra, Udasina, one is neutral, Madhyastha. In this verse, he is called, who is called? Someone else may serve as a mediator between me and my enemies. And in this verse, he is called Madhyastha. One may also see someone as pious and another is as sinful according to his own calculation. But when he is situated in transcendence, all of these friends, enemies, whatever, cease to exist. When one becomes actually learned, it does not see any enemy. Actually, I think remembering that verse, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastine. No one is my enemy, no one is my friend, no one is my father, etc. We are simply living entities. This is a beautiful thing, right? Simply living entities playing on a stage in the dress of father, mother, children, friend, enemies, etc. It is like a great drama with so many characters playing their parts. Remember that, it's a dreamlike state. In this material world, in this body, in this form, in this consciousness, in this kind of, environment. It's just a drama, just like in a movie. In the movie, when we enter in a movie theater, and we watch movie and come out, that's it. Whatever we see in the movie, it's not there in the real world. Just a flash kind of thing. Our life also like the drama. Prabhupada writes, it's a great drama with so many characters playing in their parts. So again, next, what he's saying, however, On the stage of a person, maybe an enemy or whatever, but off the stage, all the actors are the friends. Similarly, with these bodies, we are playing on the stage of material nature. And we attach so many designations one another. I may be thinking this is my son, but in actuality, I cannot become any son. Prabhupada writes, of course, that is there. Sexual intercourse there to living entity put in the mother's womb. But until Supreme Lord's will, the living entity doesn't take place. Srimad Bhagavatam explains the living entity must be placed in the emulsification of secretions. That too under his will. Right? Thus, all the multifarious relationship between bodies are just so much stage play. One who is actually realized and has actually attained yoga no longer sees the bodily distinctions. We are not actually, understand this point. We are not this body. I am spirit soul. We are not this body. We are spirit souls. We are not this body means bodily concept of life. I'm American. I'm Indian. I'm African. I'm software engineer. I'm accountant. And these are the things. Identification with the body. Bodily concept means different identification, either through designations, either the position, etc. There is beautiful verse, Sarvopadi Vinirmuktam Tatparatvena Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. Our position is to serve Krishna, engage our senses for the pleasure of Krishna, and divide off all these material designations. I'm African, I'm Indian, I am etc. etc. What is I am? What is I am then? Divara Swarupohai, Krishnera Nityadas. Our position is always servitorship. We are living entities, come from Krishna as different jivas, just have to serve Supreme Lord. So these are the material bodies are temporary actually. See, the 8,400,000 species is the different bodies, different dresses, you can say. Animal dresses, insect dresses, reptile dresses, aquatic dresses, human beings dresses. So this dress is going to torn away at some point. 50 years, 60 years, 70 years. Body is going to dwindle. What are the 6 changes of body? Anybody says, please. What are the 6 changes of a body? Quickly, Mataji, Samyukta Mataji, Vendala Mataji, Sapan Prabhu.
Birth, growth, staying for some time, reproduction, dwindling, and death.
Say, thank you very much, Mataji. You tell me, Mataji, Samyukta Mataji, what are the 6 changes? Just now Mataji said.
పుట్టడం పెరగడం అది కొన్ని రోజులు మళ్ళీ అదే స్టేజ్ లో ఉంటారు ప్రభుజీ. నెక్స్ట్
యా రైట్ యా పుట్టడం నెక్స్ట్ పుట్టడం తర్వాత నెక్స్ట్ వాట్ పుట్టడం తర్వాత పెరగడం పెరగడం తర్వాత వాట్ అది కొంతకాలం ఉండడం కొంతకాలం ఉన్న తర్వాత ఏం చేయడం అదే బాడీ నుంచి బై పిల్లలు రావడం బాడీ ఏమైపోతుంది వృద్ధాప్యంలోకి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది లాస్ట్ dwindles దెన్ మృత్యు వస్తుంది ఫినిష్ ఏ బాడీ తీసుకున్నా మీరు ఎనీ aquatic బాడీ టైగర్ బాడీ హ్యూమన్ బాడీ ఇట్స్ అ మెటీరియల్ నేచర్ 6 changes of this body. It's called in the Sanskrit Shadavikara. Okay, Shadavikara. Next time after 2 months, I will ask Samyukta Mataji. You just have to say what is the Shadavikara. I would say that. Sapan Prabhu, please continue reading this book. The fate of unsuccessful yogi. Would you able to read? Sorry.
Yeah, I can read.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
The fate of the unsuccessful yogi. It is not that Bhagavad Gita rejects the meditational yoga process. It recognizes it as a bona fide method, but it further indicates that it is not possible in this age. Thus, the subject in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is quickly dropped by Sri Krishna and Arjuna. Arjuna next asks, Ayati Shraddhayo Peto Yoga Chalita Manasa Aparapya Yoga Samsiddham Kam Gatim Krishna Gachati. What is the destination of the man of faith who does not persevere, who in the beginning takes to the process of self-realization but later desist due to worldly mindedness and thus does not attain perfection in mysticism. Bhagavad Gita 637. In other words, he's asking what becomes of the unsuccessful yogi or the person who attempts to perform yoga but somehow desists and does not succeed. It is something like a student who does not get his degree because he drops out of school. Elsewhere in the Gita, Sri Krishna points out to Arjuna that out of the many men, few strive for perfection. And out of those who strive for perfection, only a few succeed. So Arjuna is inquiring after the vast number of failures. Even if a man has faith and strives for perfection in the yoga system, Arjuna points out that he may not attain this perfection due to worldly mindedness. Kachin nopaya viprastas chinnabram iva nasyati apratishto mahabaho vimuddho brahmanapati. O mighty arm Krishna, Arjuna continues, does not such a man being deviated from the path of transcendence perish like a raven cloud with no position in any sphere? Bhagavad Gita 6:38. When a cloud is torn apart by the wind, it does not mend back together again. Etan me samyasam or etan me samsayam Krishna chetum arhasya asetah tvad anya samsayasya chetana hai upadyate. This is my doubt, O Krishna, and I ask you to dispel it completely. But for yourself, no one is to be found who can destroy this doubt. Arjuna is asking this question about the fate of unsuccessful yogis so that in future people would not be discouraged. By a yogi, Arjuna is referring to Hatha Yogi, Jnana Yogi, and Bhakti Yogi. It is not that meditation is only form of yoga. The mediator, the philosopher, and the devotee are all to be considered yogi. Arjuna is questioning for all those who are attempting to become successful transcendentalists. And how does Sri Krishna answer him? Sri Bhagwan Vacha, Partha Naiveha Namutra Vinashas Tasya Vidyate Nahi Kalyana Krata Kaschit Durgatin Tata Gachati. Here, as in many other places throughout the Gita, Sri Krishna is referred to as Bhagwan. This is another of Lord's innumerable names. Bhagwan indicates that Krishna is the proprietor of 6 opulences. He possesses all beauty, all wealth, all power, all fame, all knowledge, and all renunciation. Living entities partake of these opulences in finite degrees. However, one may be famous in family, in a town, in a country, or a planet, but no one is famous throughout the creation, as is Sri Krishna. The leaders of the world may be famous for a few years only, but Lord Sri Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago and is still being worshipped. One who possesses all 6 of these opulences in completeness is considered to be God. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaks to Arjuna as Supreme Personality of Godhead, and as such, it is to be understood that he has complete knowledge. Bhagavad Gita was imparted to the Sun God and to Arjuna by Krishna, but nowhere it is mentioned that Bhagavad Gita was imparted to Krishna. Why? Complete knowledge means that he knows everything that is to be known. This is an attribute of God alone. Being that Krishna knows everything, Arjuna is putting this question to him about the fate of the unsuccessful yogi. There is no possibility for Arjuna to research the truth. He simply has to receive the truth from the complete source, and this is the system of disciplic succession. Krishna is complete, and knowledge that comes from Krishna is also complete. If Arjuna receives this complete knowledge and we receive it from Arjuna as it was spoken to him, then we also receive complete knowledge. And what is this knowledge? The blessed Lord said, Son of Pratha, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with destruction either in this world or in spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. Bhagavad Gita 6-40. Here, Krishna indicates that the very striving for yoga perfection is a most auspicious attempt. When one attempts something so auspicious, he is never degraded. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, sorry, I'm speaking on mute. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, I think I see Lakshmi Mata. Thank you for joining. You can read. Yeah, you can read, but let me add few things. So, Sapan Prabhu, since you read, who is God, Prabhu? What is the definition you found here?
6 opulences that was mentioned, all powerful, and few others.
Yeah. Beauty, all
All
wealth,
All beauty, all wealth, all power, all fame.
all knowledge, all renunciation.
living entities partake of these opulence in finite degree. Prabhupada writes also. Living entities also having this, but not in full. Not says, I have all rich. No, that position is going to be changed. Once upon a time, Bill Gates were the number one, the topmost guy. But now his position changed. Somebody took that place. Right? And that person's position also is going now, whoever there. That's the thing. So, but Krishna is a supreme Lord. His position always, there nobody come too closer because he's a supreme Lord. That's the thing. One may be famous in family, in town, etc. Prabhupada says that. But no one is famous throughout the creation as Sri Krishna. See, oka devotee రాస్తే ఎట్లా ఉంటుంది చూడండి scripture. Understanding. But no one is famous throughout the creation as is Krishna. So ఈ రకంగా భగవంతుడు అట్రాక్ట్ చేసుకున్నమాట. సర్వ ఆకర్షతి ఇది కృష్ణ. కృష్ణ కన్నడ, what is the meaning of Krishna? All attractive. సర్వ ఆకర్షయితి ఇది కృష్ణ.
I heard lecture that this definition is given by Parashara Muni Prabhu. One sloka is Aishwaryasya Samagra.
Correct. Yes, Aishwaryasya, Viryasya, Yasasya, Samagra, Virya, Jnana, Vairagya.
Yes, Shaiva Nambaga, I think.
Right. So it's a proof. If anybody says I am claiming God, means show all of your opulences. Then we will believe God. That's the thing. So proper knowledge. This is the Vaishnava Acharya's another quality is to give proper knowledge to his disciples. So we are all disciples of Srila Prabhupada actually. Great grand disciples. We are reading means we are understanding instructions. We are understanding the teachings of a great devotee of the Lord. That is what properly mentioned here. And another thing is just to share here. Son of Blessed Lord said, son of Prudha, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with destruction either in this world or in the spiritual world. Or one who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. 6.40. Here Krishna indicates that a very striving for yoga perfection is most auspicious attempt. When attempt something so auspicious is never degraded. So what is that 6.40 verse, Mataji? Let me check. 6.40 is the same, no? Here only mentioned. 6.40, just want to refer. 6.40 talks about Partha-naiveva namruta namutra vinastasya vidyate nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tat kaschati. So it's there in the book. I think it's there in the book, no? See, same verse. 6.40. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Partha-naiveha namutra vinastasya vidyate nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tat kaschati. What is saying? So what is saying here? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Son of Prudha, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with destruction either in this world or in the spiritual world. And Bhakti yogis are eternal. Bhakti yogis are the devotees are eternals. Right? Transcendentalist means who situated beyond the three modes. Transcending the three modes. I am remembering that another verse, 14:26. These are the, no, by Krishna's mercy, by Guru's mercy, I am remembering this. 14:26. Mam chiva bicherana bhakti yogena sevati. Sagunan samatityetan brahma bhuya kalpate. If one is situated in the bhakti yoga platform, devotional service is beyond the three modes. It's called transcendentalist, transcending the three modes of material. See, what is the three material nature? It's made up of three modes: mode of ignorance, mode of passion, and mode of goodness. So engage in all auspicious activities does not mean destruction either in this world. That means Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, my devotees never perishes. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. See that ఒక ఆరా ఒక పొర కప్పేస్తా ఉంటుంది డివోటీస్ కి. సో దే ఆర్ ఫియర్లెస్ because they surrendered to the Supreme Lord. That's one of the beautiful verse from Bhagavad Gita. Srila Prabhupada quoted in this paragraph. Very good. Yeah, this is the last chapter. Yeah, we can complete today. Okay, I hope so. Yes, 40 minutes there. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Mata, you can continue. Lakshmi Mata,
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji.
how is everything? Here, your health,
Yeah,
etc.
all good, Prabhuji, so far.
Okay.
Actually, Arjuna is asking a very appropriate and intelligent question. It is not unusual for one to fall down from the platform of devotional service. Sometimes a neophyte devotee doesn't keep the rules and regulations. Sometimes he yields to intoxication or is trapped by some feminine attractions. These are impediments on the path of yoga perfection. But Sri Krishna gives an encouraging answer. For he tells Arjuna that even if one sincerely cultivates only 1% worth of spiritual knowledge, he will never fall down into the material whirlpool. That is due to the sincerity of his effort. It should always be understood that we are weak and that the material energy is very strong. To adopt spiritual life is more or less to declare war against the material energy. The material energy is trying to entrap the conditioned soul as much as possible. And when the conditioned soul tries to get out of her clutches by spiritual advancement of knowledge, material nature becomes more stringent and vigorous in her efforts to test how much the aspiring spiritualist is sincere. The material energy or Maya will then offer more allurements. In this regard, there is the story of a Vishwamitra Muni, a great king, a Kshatriya, who renounced his kingdom and took the yoga process in order to become more spiritually advanced. At that time, the meditational yoga process was possible to execute. Vishwamitra Muni meditated so intently that Indra, the king of heaven, noticed him and thought, this man is trying to occupy my post. The heavenly planets are also material, and there is the competition. No businessman wants another businessman to exceed him. Fearing that Vishwamitra Muni would actually depose him, Indra sent one heavenly society girl named Menaka to allure him sexually. Menaka was naturally very beautiful and she was intent on disrupting the Muni's meditations. Indeed, he became aware of her feminine presence upon hearing the sound of her bangles, and he immediately looked up from his meditation, saw her, and became captivated by her beauty. As a result, the beautiful girl Shakuntala was born by their conjunction. Then Shakuntala was born, Vishwamitra lamented. When Shakuntala was born, Vishwamitra lamented, oh, I was just trying to cultivate spiritual knowledge and again I have been entrapped. He was about to flee when Menaka brought his beautiful daughter before him and chastised him. Despite her pleading, Vishwamitra resolved to leave anyway. Thus, there is every chance of failure on the yogic path when a great sage like Vishwamitra Muni falls down due to material allurement. Although the Muni fell for the time being, he again resolved to go on with the yoga process, and this should be our resolve. Krishna informs us that such failures should not be cause for despair. This is the famous proverb that failure is the pillar of success. In the spiritual life, especially, failure is not discouraging. Krishna very clearly states that even if there is a failure, there is no loss either in this world or in the next. One who takes to the auspicious line of spiritual culture is never completely vanquished. Now, what actually happens to the unsuccessful spiritualist? Sri Krishna specifically explains Prapya punya kritam lokam ushitva shashvatihi samaha suchinam श्रीमतां गेहे योगो भ्रष्ट बीजायते अथवा अथवा योगिनाम् एव कुले भवति धीमताम् एतद्धि दुर्लभतरं लोके जन्म यद् ईदृशम्. The unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into the family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy, or he takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Verily, such a birth is rare in this world. Bhagavad Gita 6.41 and 42. There are many planets in the universe, and on the higher planets, there are greater comforts. The duration of life is longer, and the inhabitants are more religious and godly. Since it is said that 6 months on earth is equal to one day on the higher planets, the successful yogi stays on these higher planets for many years. Vedic literatures describe their lifetimes as lasting 10,000 years. So even if one is a failure, he is promoted to these higher planets, but one cannot remain there perpetually. When the fruits or the results of one's pious activities expire, he has to return to earth. Yet, even upon returning to this planet, the unsuccessful yogi meets with fortunate circumstances, for he takes his birth in either a very rich family or a pious one. Generally, according to the law of karma, if one enacts pious deeds, he is awarded in the next life by birth into very aristocratic family or into a very wealthy family, or he becomes a great scholar, or he is born very beautiful. In any case, those who sincerely begin spiritual life are guaranteed human birth in the next life. Not only human birth, but birth into either a very pious or a very wealthy family. Thus, one with such a good birth should understand that his fortune is due to his previous pious activities and to God's grace. These facilities are given by the Lord, who is always willing to give us the means to attain Him. Krishna simply wants to see that we are sincere. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that every particular person has his own duty in life, regardless of his position and regardless of his society. However, he gives up his prescribed duty and somehow, either out of sentiment or association or craziness or whatever, takes shelter of Krishna, and if due to his immaturity he falls from the devotional path, still there is no loss for him. On the other hand, if a person executes his duties perfectly but doesn't approach God, then what does he earn? His life is indeed without benefit. But a person who has approached Krishna is better situated, even though he may fall down from the yogic platform.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. So beautifully writes Prabhupada again. Different examples. So here, right. Arjuna is asking a very appropriate and intelligent question. Anybody remember what is that intelligent question? Anybody add?
If someone is not very successful in the spiritual path in this life, so what does it happen? What does happen to him in the current life? And that is what his question.
Yeah. Prabhupada quotes from Bhagavad Gita. Prapya punya kritam lokan usitva shashvati samaha suchinam srimatam gehe yogo brashto vijayate. Suchinam srimatam gehe. The unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy, or he takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Verily, such a birth is rare in this world. So, So the little endeavor, there is one verse. Neha vikramana shosti pratyavana vidyade swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahatobhaya. In this endeavor, in this path of devotional service, if we spend some time and somehow we couldn't complete due to many reasons. For example, whatever the devotional service performed, that will leads us to save from the greatest danger, the little service. Now, see that the advantage, see how the knowledge is so powerful actually. So if we take up the seriously and adapting in this life, so definitely there is a guarantee back home, back to God and serving Lord in Krishna eternally. So that's thing we have from this knowledge, right? So here Vishwamutra Muni example why he has given, anybody says? In this connection. Prabhupada writes, see, to adopt spiritual life is more or less to declare war against the material energy. Declare war against, declare war against the material energy. The material energy, this material energy, so danger, is trying to entrap the conditions as much as possible. Maya. మనకు తెలియకుండానే ఎన్నో జరుగుతుంటాయి యాక్చువల్గా. వెన్ అందుకే ఆ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇచ్చారు విశ్వామిత్రుని. And when the conditioned soul tries to get out of her clutches by spiritual advancement knowledge, material nature becomes more stringent and vigorous in her efforts to test how much the aspiring spiritualist is sincere. The material energy or Maya will then offer more allurements. See, every day is a fight with mind, with this material energy, Maya. So declare war against material energy, allurements to test. Either you win, either your determination towards Krishna wins, or Maya wins. యుద్ధం మనసుతో చేసే యుద్ధం అన్నమాట. ఆ మనసు ఎక్కడికి వెళ్తుంది ఏంటిది, we have to check it. Actually Krishna consciousness path is so blissful, అట్లనే సీరియస్నెస్ కూడా ఉంటుంది. మనం ఏ మాత్రం కొంచెం అదన్నా కూడా ఏమైపోతుంది అంటే డీవియేట్ అయిపోతుంటాం అనమాట. అందుకే we have to get a strong hold on the beads and bead bags, chant the holy names of the Lord, and always prayerful. Krishna, please don't give forgetfulness. Please always remember, always remember you. So stringent, the laws are stringent, vigorous in her efforts. Maya is a lady, Durga Shakti. In her efforts to test how much the aspiring spiritualist is sincere, the middle energy or Maya will then offer more allurements. Vishwamitra Muni example is given. You know all the stories. Vishwamitra Muni's story. Let us directly go here. Then there is every chance of failure on the yogic path when a great sage like Vishwamitra, 60,000 of tapasya he did in Satyava time frame, but still he fall down because of the material allurement in the form of Amenaka. To test, actually these are all testing process actually. Yeah, how a soul perfected his lives and go back home, because he has to pass all the tests. He has to pass all the tests. Tests are nothing but material allurements, materialistic way of life, material desires. Kama అంటే రెండు రకాలు ఉంటుంది దాని మీనింగ్. అఫ్ కోర్స్ ఫస్ట్ అంటే లస్ట్ అంటేనే మనం థింక్ చేసేది ఆ సెక్సువల్ డిజైర్స్ అది, బట్ దట్స్ నాట్ కరెక్ట్. కామ అంటే ఎంజాయ్ చేయడం అనమాట, భౌతికంగా ఎంజాయ్ చేయడం, మెటీరియల్ డిజైర్స్, భౌతిక కోరికలు, అవసరాలు, అటాచ్మెంట్స్, మెటీరియల్ అటాచ్మెంట్స్, అదంతా కూడా దాని కిందకి వస్తుంది, కామ కిందకి వస్తుంది. సినోనిమ్స్ ఆఫ్ ద వర్డ్. సో అది ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇచ్చారు. ఓకే, బట్ నౌ యాక్చువల్లీ what actually happens to unsuccessful speech, but try చేశాడు కష్టపడ్డాడు, బట్ somehow fall down. But still Krishna is so merciful. Either the next life, in his next life, Krishna puts in aristocrat family, a nice, wealthy family, or a knowledgeable person, transcendentalist, a Brahmanical culture ఉన్న ఫ్యామిలీలో, wisdom ఉన్న ఫ్యామిలీలో పుట్టొచ్చు. By that is continuous, is a spiritual life continues from there onwards. Okay, so this is there 10,000 years of life. Vedic literature describe their lifetimes as lasting 10,000 years. Which time frame? Can anybody say what is the 10,000 years time frame?
Treta Yuga.
Treta Yuga. Yes, Mataji. Treta Yuga. So మీరు ఉండండి మాతాజీ, మీరు answers. I'm asking other devotees. So 1,000 years which yuga, Mataji? Anybody?
Dwapara Yuga, Prabhuji. Dwapara Yuga.
And 1,00,000 years?
Satya Yuga.
Kali Yuga?
100 years.
100 Prabhuji.
అది 100 అని చెప్తున్నారు. 100 బతికేవాడు ఎవడు? అది ఇచ్చారు, టైం ఫ్రేమ్ ఇచ్చారంటే అకార్డింగ్ టు this time period they will live, but that's the thing, time frame is given, the lifetime is given. Vishwamitra Muni's time frame is Satyayuga time, 60,000 years of tapasya he did, because 1,00,000 years of lifetime is there. It is easy, it is very easy to understand, 60,000 tapasya means 60 in this, now 60 years of tapasya assume in this Kali Yuga, that way. But still the problem is there. So that's why we have to always war against Maya, war against material energy. Prabhupada only writes that one. And there is lifetime difference in these higher planets. They live for more years compared to this earthly planet. Yeah. So here, human birth, either very pious or very wealthy family, that is there. Thus, one with such a good birth should understand that his fortune is due to his previous pious activity and to God's grace. These facilities are given by the Lord, who is always willing to give us the means to attain Him. Manaku, every opportunity is given by Krishna. In this lifetime also, sincerely, if you are trying to associate with devotees, if you are trying to learn, Krishna and his material nature arranges that particular soul to give the facilities, right? For example, if I want to associate wherever I am, if I have that kind of desire, Krishna arranges somehow or other, so that's where it is. So how do we desire? That matters. So how do we desire? What do we desire? Desire for our spiritual benefit wherever we are in, right? So he creates, he facilitates actually. Krishna, what is looking? ఇది ఒకసారి అందరు చదవండి ఒకసారి.
Krishna simply wants to see that we are sincere.
That sincerity, అది ఒక్కటే, ఆ ఒక్క క్వాలిటీనే భగవంతుని అట్రాక్ట్ చేస్తుంది. మిగతా అన్ని పక్కన పెట్టండి. సిన్సియర్ గా మనం ట్రై చేస్తున్నాము. ఇఫ్ అవర్ మైండ్ ఈస్ స్ట్రగ్లింగ్ టు రిమెంబర్ లార్డ్, టు చాంట్ ద హోలీ నేమ్స్, బట్ స్టిల్ వి ట్రై టు హోల్డ్ ఆన్ ద బీడ్స్, ట్రై టు స్పెండ్, దట్ లైక్స్ హిమ్. సిన్సియర్ is struggling, this soul is still struggling. స్లోగా ఆలోచించండి, show our love towards Krishna wherever situation, whichever situation, whatever condition. How can we get the mercy then if we won't show our sincerity? Sincere attempts pays off. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it's stated that every particular person has his own duty in life, regardless of his position, regardless of his society. If, however, he gives up his prescribed duty and somehow or other sentiment or association or craziness, whatever, takes shelter of Krishna, and if his duty is immaturity, he falls down a devotional path. Still, there is no loss for him. అట్లా ఉన్నా కూడా కొంతమంది కొన్ని రోజులు డివోషనల్ సర్వీస్ చేసి మళ్ళీ బ్యాక్ టు మెటీరియల్ పూల్ మళ్ళీ అదే ఉండాలనుకోండి, నో ప్రాబ్లం. కృష్ణ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు టేక్. See, there is a beautiful statement Krishna is a eternal forgiver. Who else can do that? He is going to, he always forgives, right? But we have to remember that, see, Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandho Jagatpate, Karuna Sindhu, mercy, always gives mercy. He always loves us, the Supreme Lord, even though we commit abominable mistakes, abominable things, but still he loves us. That means forgiveness. Because we all come from him. Mamayvamsho Jivaloka Jivabhuta Sanatana. ఎవరికైనా ఉంటుంది కదండి. ఇప్పుడు ఇన్ దిస్ మెటీరియల్ వరల్డ్ ఫాదర్ సన్ మధ్యలో ఉన్నటువంటి రిలేషన్షిప్, ఒక ప్రభుపాద రాస్తాడు ఈ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. ఆ కొడుకు ఒక ఇంట్లో నుంచి వెళ్ళిపోయిన తర్వాత కూడా కొంతకాలం మళ్ళీ తిరిగి వచ్చిన తర్వాత కూడా ఆ ఫాదర్ లవింగ్లీ యాక్సెప్ట్స్, రైట్? నా కొడుకు తిను. అట్లనే భగవంతుడు కూడా చూస్తుండు మన కోసం. యాక్చువల్లీ ఈజ్ వెయిటింగ్ ఫర్ అస్, వి ఎంట్రాప్డ్ ఇన్ డిఫరెంట్ మెటీరియల్ బాడీస్, but still is waiting for us. When this, my soul coming by my part coming back and serve me. So, but still there is no loss. But even though if tried little service, no loss. But still Krishna is giving chances. Krishna is giving opportunities. On the other hand, if a person executes his described duties, he executes his duties perfectly, but does not approach God, then what does he earn? His life is indeed without benefit. But a person who has approached Krishna is better situated, even though he may fall down from the yogic platform. So, రెండు రకాలు ఉంటుంది. ఇప్పుడు మన సరెండరింగ్ అనేది క్వశ్చన్ ఎక్కడ, సరెండరింగ్ టు మాయా ఆర్ సరెండరింగ్ టు కృష్ణ. సరెండరింగ్ టు మాయా మీన్స్ ఇంకంతే, ఇక ఎప్పుడు పోరాడుతూనే ఉండాలి ఆ యుద్ధంలో, మనం గెలిచేది ఉండదు. ఇంకా మనం if we want to win over material power, over material nature, we just have to approach a supreme power, supreme personality. Then ఇది ఒకటి ఉంది కదా భగవద్గీతలో వర్స్, సడన్లీ గుర్తు రావట్లేదు యాక్చువల్గా. మాయాతీతం తరంతిదే. You remember Mata, that words? Mayatītam tarantite. Actually, the verse first lines, Mayatītam tarantite. This Maya, how Krishna explains that, how entrapment happens in this material world. But there is every chance. Mayatītam tarantite. Actually, let me quickly search here. It's one of the beautiful verse from Bhagavad Gita. Got the verse. Daiviyesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mam yevaye prapadyante mayametam tarantite. This divine energy of mind consisting of the three modes of material nature. This material nature also come from Krishna only. Aham sarvasya prabhavo, right? Is come from me, consisting of three modes of is my energy. Is difficult to overcome. It's difficult to overcome. మన నెక్స్ట్ సొల్యూషన్ కూడా ఇస్తుండే కృష్ణుడు. ఏం చేస్తుండే? But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. So surrendering is important. దైవీయేష గుణమాయి మమ మాయ దురత్య మామయే ప్రపద్యంతే మాయామేతాం తరంతితే. This divine energy of mind consisting of the three modes of material nature is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. He only created Maya. He only created his spiritual world. He only can save us. Either we will be in the Maya, either we will be go back home, back to God, or serving him. So that's the thing. Okay, so we have to understand his teachings, Krishna's teachings from Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, we'll read from here. I think ikkada varaku jadina kada matadi, right? Yogic platform. But a person who has approached Krishna is better situated, even though he may fall down from the yogic platform. Correct?
Yes, Prabhuji.
అవైనల్ మాత్రం ఇది లాస్ట్ 2-3 పారాగ్రాఫ్లు ఉన్నాయి. ఒక 2 పారాగ్రాఫ్లు చదవండి మాత్రం దెన్ డిస్కస్.
We are walking on a narrow ledge, Prabhu. One step that side will fall into Maya and one step.
ఇదేమంటారు, ఇది మన చిన్నప్పుడు మీరు కూడా మీ లైఫ్ లో చూసి ఉంటుంటారు. ఏంటది, రోడ్ల పైన వాళ్ళు ఉంటారు కదా, వాళ్ళని ఏమంటారు పాపం, అది రోడ్ల పైన సర్కస్ లాగా పెట్టి ఆటో ఒకటి తాడు మీద పాపం నడిచి లైక్ మన పొజిషన్ కూడా అట్లనే ఉంది. కింద పడితేనేమో మాయాలో పడిపోతాం. స్టే నైస్లీ క్రాస్ ఓవర్ దిస్ మెటీరియల్ నేచర్ అండ్ రీచ్ దట్.
Lot of balance is required.
Balance required. Lot of balance required. That balance also come from with Guru and Krishna's mercy.
Yes, Prabhu.
With their mercy we get it. Right? Yeah. Unless Guru's mercy is not there, we won't be able to understand. Actually, first thing is we won't be able to understand. And the bewilder అయిపోతుంది knowledge. Actually, there are hundreds of versions of Bhagavad Gita. Hundreds and hundreds actually. ఎవరికి వచ్చినట్టు వాళ్ళు రాసిననే ఉన్నారు. 4 పాయింట్లు ఇక్కడ తీసుకొని కొన్ని ఇంగ్లీష్ లిటరేచర్ చదివి ఇది చదివి చెత్తా చెదారం రాసి పడేసి ఉన్నారు. హండ్రెడ్స్ ఆఫ్ వర్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి.
వాళ్ళకి ఏం అర్థమైతే అది రాసేస్తారు.
ఏది అర్థమైతే అది రాసేస్తారు, మన మీద తోసేస్తారు. అప్పుడే మన జీవితం మన వీఆర్ ఫార్చునేట్ అట్లీస్ట్ వి కమ్ టు ద ప్లాట్ఫామ్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాపర్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్. ఇట్స్ మిజరబుల్ యాక్చువల్లీ. Looks like a sophisticated, knowledgeable person, but they won't surrender. They won't surrender to Krishna. No use. Unless they surrender to Krishna, what is the point? Your knowledge is going to end by your death. What's the point?
అంటారు కదా ప్రభు, మనకి చీటింగ్ ప్రపంచం ఉంటే విల్ బి సెంట్ టు చీటింగ్ గురుస్ ఉంది.
Yeah, one of the fourth one, problem with material mind. చీటింగ్ ప్రొపెన్సిటీ అంటే అట్లనే పంపిస్తాడు భగవంతుడు. ఇఫ్ యూ సిన్సియర్, కృష్ణ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు సెండ్ వండర్ఫుల్ ఆచార్య. జస్ట్ లైక్ వీ హ్యావ్ ఫౌండ్ హిస్ డివైన్ గ్రేస్ అభయాచార్య and the Bhakti and the Srila Prabhupada. Right. Thank you for adding, Mataji. You can read. Yeah.
Krishna further indicates that of all good families to be born into, families of successful merchants or philosophers or meditators, the best is the family of yogis. One who takes birth in a very rich family may be misled. It is normal for a man who is given great riches to try to enjoy those riches. Thus, rich men's sons often become drunkards and prostitute hunters. Similarly, one who takes birth in a pious family or a Brahminical family often becomes very puffed up and proud, thinking, I am a Brahmana, I am a pious man. There is a chance of degradation in both rich and pious families. But one who takes birth in a family of yogis or devotees has much better chance of cultivating again that spiritual life from which he has fallen. Krishna tells Arjuna, Tatratam buddhi samyogam labhate purva dehikam yatate cha tatva bhuya samsiddhau kirunandana. On taking such a birth, he again revives the divine spiritual consciousness of his previous life, and he tries to make further progress in order to achieve complete success, O son of Kuru. Bhagavad Gita 6.43. Being born.
Yeah, andarki idam. Thank you, Mataji. Yes. Tatratam buddhi samyogam labhate paurva vedehikam yatate cha tato bhuya samsiddhau kurunandana. On taking such a birth, he again revives the divine consciousness of his previous life, and he tries to make further progress in order to achieve complete success. O son of Kuru. So అక్కడ నుంచి కంటిన్యూ అవుతుంది అని చెప్తున్నారు అనమాట, లైఫ్, స్పిరిచువల్ లైఫ్. ఓకే, సో yeah, so see, there is one point here. One who takes birth in a very rich family may be misled. It is normal for a man who is given great riches try to enjoy those riches, See, that's the thing. Material allurements means they get so much opulence. They don't know how to expend. They expend in materialistic way of life. By that, they become like this, Thus, rich men's sons often become drunkards, prostitute hunters. Similarly, we see this. This is a reality, actually, This is a reality. What do they do with this money? What do they do with this opulence? Those things are meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex, gambling. ఎక్కువ ఉంటే అదే problem. Similarly, one who takes birth in pious family, Brahmanical family, often becomes very puffed up and proud, thinking, I am a Brahmana, I am pious. There is chance of degradation. There is a chance of degradation in both rich and pious families. But one who takes birth in a family of yogis or of devotees has much better chance of cultivating again. Right? So this is a verse from Bhagavad Gita. From there, their continuation of this spiritual life. Yeah, last two paragraphs ఉన్నాయి. Yes. Yeah, సంయుక్త మాతది ఈ రెండు చదవండి మాతది.
Okay, Prabhuji. Being born in a family of those who execute yoga or devotional service, one remembers his spiritual activities executed in his previous life. Anyone who takes to Krishna consciousness seriously is not an ordinary person. He must have taken to the same process in his previous life. Why is this? Purvabhyasena tenaiva hrudyate hi avasopi sa jignasur api yogasya shabda brahmati vartate. By the virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles, even without seeking them. Bhagavad Gita 6.44. In the material world, we have experienced that we do not carry our assets from one life to another. I may have millions of dollars in the bank, but as soon as my body is finished, my bank balance is also. At death, the bank balance does not go with me. It remains in the bank to be enjoyed by somebody else. This is not the case with spiritual culture. Even if one enacts a very small amount on the spiritual platform, he takes that with him to his next life, and he picks up again from that point. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Prabhuji, again from that point అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇనిషియల్ స్టేజ్ లో ఉంటారు కదా ప్రభుజీ కొంతమంది. ఇఫ్ సడన్ గా ఏదైనా జరిగింది అనుకోండి ప్రభుజీ, నెక్స్ట్ లైఫ్ లో మళ్ళీ ఎక్కడి నుంచి స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది ప్రభుజీ? అంటే ఎలా స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది వాళ్ళు నెక్స్ట్?
ఎక్కడ నుండి అయితే వదిలేసిండ్రు, ఇప్పుడు ఎంతవరకు చేసిండ్రో అక్కడ నుండి ఇప్పుడు ఒక 20% చేసిండ్రు ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉండి అట్లా చేసిన వ్యక్తి సడన్ గా జరిగిపోయింది అనుకోండి, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, అక్కడ నుండి ఏదో చేసిండో మళ్ళా కృష్ణ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు అరేంజ్ ఈ వర్సలు చెప్తున్నాడు కదా భగవంతుడు, ఏం చెప్తున్నాడు, ఈ పుట్స్ ఇన్ టు బ్రాహ్మణికల్ ఫ్యామిలీ సో దట్ ఆన్ టేకింగ్ సచ్ ఎ బర్త్ ఈ అగైన్స్ రివైవ్ ద డివైన్ కాన్షియస్నెస్. అక్కడ నుండి కంటిన్యూషన్ అవుతుంది. బట్ వాట్ ఎవర్ ద 20% చేసింది అనుకోండి, 21% నుంచి స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. రైట్. సో ఏంటంటే ఎట్లా అర్థం చేసుకోవాలంటే, ఆ మనం ఏదైతే చేసినా కూడా, సో విత్ దట్ కృష్ణ నోస్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ యాక్చువల్, రైట్? హీ నోస్ ప్రెసెంట్, పాస్ట్, ఫ్యూచర్, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఆఫ్ ద పర్టికులర్ లివింగ్ ఎంటిటీ. సో హీ నోస్ దట్ హౌ మచ్ హీ డిడ్ సర్వీస్. సో నెక్స్ట్ how can I take care? Yes, I will put it in this family. Okay, his spiritual life continues. So he knows that. So from there he continues.
Okay.
So this one, right, is in this verse, by virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles even without seeking them. Why most of the people not coming to the path of devotional service? Because they see, that's where conditioned living entities, how many people are practicing bhakti yoga? Very rare, very less, 9 billion. Many times I say this, 9 billion, world population. 1% also not there. At least, to start seriousness of these principles, integrity principles, following, remembering Krishna, every day serving, always remembering, very rare. But who attracts? Because somebody, how a person come to the platform of devotional service. So when we preach, somebody comes to the platform of devotional service, it's not our endeavor. It's Krishna is sending those souls to that particular association. Just continue from your spiritual life like that. Because they have that consciousness. Krishna triggers over time with the remembrance, he automatically. See, why we become now we are practicing Bhakti Yoga, we are understanding spiritual knowledge, we are reading Srila Prabhupada books, get the knowledge and practicing. Because the inclination is there, because we, in our lives, if take an example of my life, I made some good pious activities, like spiritual activities in previous life. So Krishna has shown me continuation of this devotional path and the proper way of understanding him and serving him. I discontinued there in previous life. Where I discontinue, somehow he redirecting at different ages, different in my life. For example, my student life, I used to read Bhagavad Gita in the Ganesh Navaratri Utsav. It's not Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita. Some other Bhagavad Gita. That inclination is late. But slowly he knows that. Krishna only knows, right? So he is shown the path ultimately and putting in the right path. He knows, but that's the thing. He means that memory automatically triggers by whom? Krishna only, the soul. How these things happens. Attracted to the yogic principle and start practicing devotional life. So many times we discuss this point, bank balance. After this body, somebody is going to enjoy those properties, etc., money. But this is not the case with spiritual culture. Spiritual culture always continues. That's why called, whatever we are doing, Krishna conscious activities, we are filling our eternal bank balance. It's eternal. It's not temporary bank balance, After expenditure done, it becomes zero. It's not like that. Spiritual culture is, spiritual activities are filling eternal bank balance. Right? Even if one enacts a very small amount on the spiritual platform, he takes that with him to his next life, and he picks up again from that point. Right? 30%, 30%, 40%. Kontamandi devotees, they took birth and nicely practicing devotional life. That's it. Within short time, of course, that body is going to leave from the soul. The soul is leaving to that body and come back to your head. So many examples there. So that's where, in this life, Krishna knows that you completed your 70% in previous life, 30% you need to do. So you got this body. Continue. 100% purify. Then come back and serve like that. In the spiritual world, who are there? The spiritual world, all the devotees who have pure consciousness, who are devoid of all these, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Macharyas. Those kind of souls there in the spiritual world. That means why we are not there? We are still struggling with this problem. 6 enemies. They are enemies. Yeah, this is the last paragraph. Sapan Prabhu, please read, Prabhu. This is done. This chapter. There is one last chapter. We'll read on Wednesday. Okay. Yes. Read, Prabhu. This is the last paragraph for today.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah. Can you highlight, Prabhuji? Yeah. When one picks up this knowledge that was interrupted, he should know that he should now finish the balance and complete the yogic process. One should not take the chance of finishing up the process in another birth, but should resolve to finish it in this life. We should be determined in this way. Somehow or other in my last life, I did not finish my spiritual cultivation. Now Krishna has given me another opportunity, so let me finish it up in this life. Thus, after leaving this body, one will not again take birth in this material world where birth, old age, disease, and death are omnipresent, but will return to Krishna. One who takes shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna sees this material world simply as a place of danger. For one who takes to spiritual culture, This material world is actually unfit. Srimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati used to say, this place is not fit for a gentleman. Once one has approached Krishna and has attempted to make spiritual progress, Krishna, who is situated within the heart, begins to give directions. In Gita, Krishna says that for one who wants to remember him, he gives remembrance, and for one who wants to forget him, he allows him to forget. Hare Krishna.
చెప్పండి ఆ శ్లోకం మాతది సరేనా వేణుల మాత మీరు
సర్వస్య జాహం హృది ఒకసారి చెప్పమన్నారు అనుకున్నాను. సారీ.
చెప్పండి ఇంకెవరైనా ఎవరిస్తారు ఇది మాతాజీ సారీ బోల్ రిమెంబరెన్స్ ఫర్గెట్ఫుల్నెస్ అండ్ నాలెడ్జ్
కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ.
కృష్ణ శ్లోకం సర్వస్య చాహం
హృది సన్నివిష్టు మత్త స్మృతిర్జ్ఞానం అపోహనం చ
రైట్ వేదాంత
వేదాంత వేద విదేవ చాహం. గుర్తుంది ప్రభుజీ. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
గుర్తుందంటే అది కృష్ణుడు ఇచ్చిన గుర్తు మాతది కృష్ణ ఇచ్చిన రిమెంబరెన్స్ రైట్ యా దిస్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ సో Prabhupada, this is one statement Prabhupada writes from his Guru Maharaj Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati used to say, this place is not fit for gentlemen. Whoever takes up seriousness in spiritual life, one who takes to spiritual culture, this material world is actually unfit. This place is not fit for gentlemen, because conditionings, with that conditionings, they won't be able to serve Krishna. That's where one has approached Krishna, has attempted to make spiritual progress. Krishna, who is situated within the heart, begins to give the directions. In the Gita, Sri Krishna says that for one who wants to remember him, he gives remembrance. For one who wants to forget him, he allows him to forget. So he allows him to forget. Most of the materialists, Krishna only allows him to forget. Is their free will? Again, the question is, if it's their free will, either they wanted to understand their life, or there is actually Hindi lo ఒకటి ఉంటుంది కదా ఉంటుంది యాక్చువల్గా మరో ఆర్ ఇది ఉంటుంది మొత్తం యాక్చువల్గా ఫర్గాట్ వెరీ బ్యూటిఫుల్ లైన్స్ మరో ఆర్ ఊఠో ఆర్ సంథింగ్ లైక్ దట్ మరో మెటీరియల్ వరల్డ్ మే మరో సస్తానే ఉండు మెటీరియల్ వల్ల లేదా use this knowledge, intelligence, understand, and elevate ourselves. Prabhupada like this, elevate ourselves. Right? So, right, we are almost there, time also. So this chapter talks about, what is this chapter? What is this chapter talks about? The fate of unsuccessful yogi. The fate of unsuccessful yogi. That means Krishna only did take care of his devotees, as we see. If the devotee 20%, 30%, Krishna only facilitates. Either he puts into the wealthy family or knowledgeable family, Brahmanical family. From there, he continues his path of devotional service. So that's the thing. Many things discussed here also, Srila Prabhupada. Yeah. Anybody likes to add? I mean, there is one last chapter we will read on Wednesday. Okay. With that, this book also will be completed. We will see some of other books. We'll see. This is the last 8th chapter one. The perfection of yoga will read on Wednesday. So please share your thoughts by reading. Today we have read the fate of unsuccessful yogi and the 6th one.
Yoga as freedom from duality and designation.
Yoga is freedom from duality and designation. So please add your points, another minutes, then we can wrap up. Okay. Sapan Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. So what I remember from today's session is about the 6 opulences of Lord Sri Krishna.
Nice.
I can recall some of them, not all. So some of them are all fame, all wealth, all power. Can someone list out the other 3?
Yeah.
All
List
beauty,
out.
Prabhuji. All
All
beauty, all
beauty.
knowledge, all renunciation.
Yeah, all beauty, all knowledge, all renunciation. Okay, thank you. Then after that, I also remember we learned to be of equal mind to both enemy and friend, to someone who's in favor against you, and also and also about treating the stones and pebbles and gold equally. That is the state of the yogi. And I also remember that Krishna, Srila Prabhupada mentioning that we should finish it in this life, and we are born in this life because we did not finish in past life. So we should try to finish in this life so that we should not have another life. So yeah, these are my takeaways, Prabhuji.
Unsuccessful yogi. Last point ఏం చెప్తున్నారు? The fate of unsuccessful yogi అంటే ఏం చెప్తున్నారు ప్రభు? So no worries. Krishna is going to take care. Whatever service he has done, his next life is going to continue from there. Simple. Right? Shruti. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. And also the difference between material accumulation and spiritual accumulation is that the material accumulation will remain here, but the spiritual accumulation will be carried forward. So you will start from where you left off earlier.
Another point. Material accumulation at the end of the body, somebody is going to enjoy. Somebody, whatever, heirs, whatever their, their family members, etc. But spiritual culture, spiritual activities, it helps you, the personal thing. It's very, very personal on the soul platform. So which is more beneficial? Which we need to accumulate more? You tell us, please, all of you. Which we need to accumulate more? So this money, this bank balance, these apartments, etc., etc. Everything is there, of course. We are tenants, actually. We are tenants of this material world. We have to live at some point. Now, who is going to enjoy? They also won't enjoy. Our family members, they are also temporary. Right? So what is the eternal thing which we have to accumulate more? Spiritual wealth. Spiritual wealth. Spiritual wealth denotes spiritual wealth activities or chanting, remembering, hearing, all the activities, all the nine processes of bhakti. Right? Reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Yeah, that's where we accumulate spiritual wealth. Very nice. Inkéమైనా points? Samyukta Mataji, actually, Venala Mataji, every 8 o'clock she has to leave. She is already knowledgeable lady. Okay, you tell me, Mataji. Anything to share?
Gnana, Prabhuji. Gnanam ante enti, Vijnanam ante enti, how they will go side by side.
Very nice, very nice.
How
Okay.
we apply, yes, Prabhuji, knowledge and wisdom.
Yeah.
What is the equality of mind? Like Suhrut, ante well-wisher, Mitra, Udasina, Madhyastha. Next, we will play different types of characters in our life, Prabhuji. So in this material world, like father, mother, children, all these characters. But
Stage
offline, we are all one, Prabhuji.
Stage play. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Jnana Vijnana. Jnana means practical. Jnana means
Practical
theoretical knowledge. Jnana practical. No. Jnana
Gnana
theoretical.
theoretical, Prabhuji. Vijnana practical knowledge.
Yes. We need both. Okay. Lakshmi Mata, anything to share? 1 minute. Wanna add anything?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yeah.
Completely satisfied with the Prabhupada's purports.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the last title, The Perfection of Yoga. The book name is The Perfection of Yoga, and the last title of this book, the last chapter, just 2-3 pages. So maybe Wednesday we'll pick it up another new book. I'll choose, and then we can continue from there. Okay. Let us think about, wherever we are, whatever situation we are, whatever work we are doing, just manmana bhava madbhakto. Manmana bhava madbhakto, and there is one, is there. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyajima namaskara, but There's a beautiful Vaishnava bhajan. Mama mana mandire, Raho Nishi Dhin, Krishna Murari, Sri Krishna Murari. So we have to fill our mind, fill our mind with spiritual activities. Then Krishna is going to help us, save us, and is going to please us with us. Is going to please us whatever activities we perform. Okay. So thank you very much for today for joining this small book reading, Srila Prabhupada small book reading. Next Wednesday, we'll complete this book and spend a couple of minutes, and then we'll go to another new book. Okay. Thank you so much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Nitai Gaur Hari Premanande, Hari Hari. Thank you very much. And chant and be happy. Simple. Prabhupada writes one book. Chant and be happy. Book. Chant and be happy. That's it. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. See you all on Wednesday.